The next two assignments, the editorial and the research paper, are going to build on the topic and information you gathered for the annotated bibliography. So here's an example of the annotated bibliography for our daylight saving time topic that we picked for the class. Again, you've got the MLA citation, followed by a brief summary. Notice the hanging indent. Notice that they're in alphabetical order. You're going to continue that when you have works cited for the research paper and the editorial. So let's talk a little about the editorial. Pretty short assignment, 450 words, which is about 2 pages. And you want to think about these steps that you need to do to accomplish. Think of this as sort of building an outline for the research paper. You need an introduction that gets people's attention. You need some kind of thesis statement that gives a clear, direct statement of the argument you're making, with a couple of reasons why you believe that argument is true. The body of the paper then explains those reasons you mentioned in the thesis statement. You wrap up at the conclusion with new information, and then you have a works cited at the end. So the introduction is important to get attention. You can start with a startling fact or statistic. So here I start with a fact. 9 states want to do this. From the National Council of State Legislators, I put that information in parentheses. That's where I got the information from. If I go down to the works cited, I look under N, National Conference of State Legislators, name of the site, the date I accessed it, and then the URL. I also put in a statistic there. 40% of people disagree, and that came from Associated Press. Again, when I go to the works cited, it's first Associated Press. Same kind of hanging indent, MLA style. If you didn't want to start with that, you can start with a short story. So from this author, I found the story about Benjamin Franklin about daylight saving time. So again, I put this in parentheses. I have an author's name now, so I go down. There's the author's name, sees the daylight, because we've got 2 articles from the same author. Second article doesn't have his full name, it has 3 dashes and a period. I could start with a quote. Again, from that same author, I found a quote from Winston Churchill. Here's again the citation in text. We can also ask a question, and you can make a prediction. So think about what way or what strategy would work best for you to start your paper. Then we need to provide some kind of transition to sort of put this in bigger perspective. So again, from that author I found before, I found some information about Benjamin Franklin. I probably wouldn't use that again if I started with a Benjamin Franklin story, so I'd have to come up with some other kind of transition. And then I come up with a clear, direct thesis statement. Daylight saving time should remain an 8-month condition due to the serious health and safety consequences associated with moving the clock ahead 1 hour for the entire year. Right? Serious health and safety consequences. So since I started with health, my body paragraph that comes right after the thesis talks about health. Here I have a story from Ronenberg et al., so I have more than 3 authors. Again, if I want to go back, I go back to Ronenberg. Then, second part of my thesis statement was safety. So my second paragraph comes up with safety information. I did this way with the author's name this time. This is called a signal phrase. So I can do an in-text citation with a signal phrase, or I can put it in parentheses at the end as well. Then you want to go to the conclusion, and just don't summarize the main points you made in the thesis statement or restate the thesis statement. Save something good for the ending and come up with some kind of way of predicting the future or looking to the future once the people adopt your recommendations. So this is about 450 words. It's about 2 pages, and then a third page would be the works cited. So what we need to do then for the research paper is basically put it on steroids, or take it from a Wendy's single to a Wendy's double by adding some more information, maybe adding a third reason for the thesis statement. So let's talk about the concept of scaffolding. An outline is basically scaffolding. So what we can do is we can use the sort of same outline format we did for the editorial and use this to sort of start the research paper. We still need some kind of introduction that's going to get attention. We can state the position with a clear thesis. Maybe we'll have 3 or 4 body paragraphs now because this paper is longer. We're going to still have some kind of conclusion. And you feel free to borrow some information and some strategies that you used in the editorial. I'm not going to punish you for doing that. If you found something that worked really well, you can bring it again for the research paper. Right? So the research paper is 750 to 1,000 words, so that's about 4 pages with a works cited page at the end. Good luck with everything, and stay well.